sir, what is going on YouTube? It is your boy Denali, aka Don Squally, back at it with another Forza Horizon 3 build video, man. In this one, we are getting back to pretty well the basics of this channel. A lot of you guys who have been subscribed for a while will know that the basis of this channel was pretty much built on your requests. So today we are getting back to it, taking your requests. If you guys have any car that you want to see built, let me know down in the comments section. But as always, we can only do one per video, and today we have a request coming from Curtis Pellegrini and Jaden Rosemay. Both want to see Tanner Fox's Ford Raptor. So with that being said, first and foremost, you guys know how we have to do it, man. We got to go and actually buy this Ford Raptor. Now, I'm almost positive that I have at least one of these in my garage, but I do want to start with a brand new one for this build. Now, from what I have seen online, Tanner Fox does in fact have the 2017. Now, we do have a couple of options here, the race truck or the stock 2017 Raptor. I think for today's video, we're going to go with this stock Raptor here and see if we can make this thing look and perform identical to Tanner Fox's Raptor. Now, obviously, first and foremost, what we are going to do is jump into the upgrade section. Now, I did a little bit of research, and from my understanding, this Raptor is pretty much stock, but that's not going to stop me from doing just a couple of modifications to make this thing just a little bit better. Now, I am going to check out some engine swap options. As you guys know, we do have that, what I believe to be the 3.5 liter EcoBoost in this thing right now. And we do have the option for a V8 swap, which I think every Raptor should have, but I am going to pass on both of those. Now, as you guys can see, we do have an all-wheel drive / rear-wheel drive drift option here. Now, I know in the Raptors you do have the option to switch back and forth, but I'm going to keep this one all-wheel drive because I do want to do just a little bit of off-roading. Now, I'm not sure exactly what Forza has in mind for the front bumper, but there you have it. A nice little winch with the light bars. I'm going to have to pass on that for the time being since Tanner does not have either of those. And that big old tire in the back, that's for when you want to do some serious off-roading, which I know Tanner does from time to time. Now, the tire compound is where I'm really going to change things up just a little bit. Off-road tire is what I'm going to throw on here. I want to widen up these tires, both front and back. Just give this thing a nice rugged stance, as well as giving us the most amount of ground contact patch. And that's about as far as we're going to go with that. Now, clutch, I am going to go ahead and upgrade, as well as the transmission. Now, this thing being a 3.5 liter, I got a feeling that we're going to need as much help as we can get with this. Now, brakes are also going to be one of the things that I do upgrade. This is a heavy, heavy truck, and it's going to take a lot to stop all that weight. Rally springs and dampers. Looks like it actually lowers the truck just a little bit. I am going to install them. I'm hoping we could get a little bit of a lift on this thing, actually. And obviously, that intake and exhaust has to go on there, just for my own personal preference. And you know what? Upon looking at this thing, I really don't like the width of these tires right now. I'm going to go back to stock. I just think it looks a little bit too Hot Wheels with those big fat tires on there. And now that we got all of that out of the way, we are going to jump into the tuning. Now, one thing that I do want to do is see if we can get that ride height just a little higher. And it does look like it's about as high as it can get, which leads me to believe that the softness here is what's giving us that low ride height. So I'm going to stiffen this up just a little bit. Now, I do want to take this off-roading. I'm not sure how this is going to help, or maybe not help at all, but we're going to go ahead and take care of that anyways. And now comes the designs and paints, and since this is a stock Raptor, this is pretty well where I'm going to be able to make this thing look exactly like Tanner. So obviously he has that stock Ford paint. Not sure why it wasn't an option for us in the OEM colors, but nonetheless, we're going to go ahead and put it on right now. And I'm going to go ahead and tint up the windows. Again, this is something more so for my own personal preference. The wheels are already black, We're going to go ahead and save that to the car. And last but not least, we need to apply some decals to the hood, get some nice little hash marks going here. And I'm going to go ahead and install those right now. And there you have it. Very nice from factory. Too many save files. Ladies and gentlemen, the epidemic that has plagued me from day one with this game. Well, not quite day one, but I mean day 2 or 3. I had a lot of cars in my garage. Let's just say that. But now that we got that out of the way, let's actually save it to the car. Because I am super stoked to take this thing out there. See what an off-road, pretty much stock Raptor can do with an intake and exhaust. Now, to be honest, hearing such a quiet noise coming from this thing is so weird. A lot of you guys know the original Raptor came with, I think, a 6.2 liter engine, a big old V8, and as much as I'm sure this engine probably produces just as much power as the V8 and is probably a lot better on fuel, it just does not sound the part. But, I mean, let's take this thing out on the Tundra here and see if we can get this thing up to speed. Now, keep in mind, I did stiffen up the suspension, kept the all-wheel drive on this thing, and it seems to be running across this field relatively nicely still. I was expecting it to really be bouncing around, which there is a little bit of bounce, but it's nothing too crazy. I mean, from factory, the Ford Raptor has such soft suspension that I think stiffening it up really didn't do anything here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say, oh, rolling it over. Look out. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb and say about 75–80% of Raptor owners actually really don't take their Raptors off-road. Tanner Fox, obviously an exception to the rule. If you guys have seen his YouTube channel, you know that he gets out there in the Raptor, man, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Just completely mobbing through this river. Looks like we got a little Pontiac wave there getting drowned by the water. That is definitely not a problem for us. Let's see if we can get a little interior view here. Them wipers going, no problem. And inside, just cruising around in absolute bliss, man. You can barely even tell that we're in a truck off-roading right now. It's just so smooth. Let's get back out to the real world, shall we? A little bit of a tongue twister there. Let's get on the highway, see what this thing's all about. Now, I did keep the all-wheel drive here. I would have liked to get a little bit of drift action happening, but we can always install a differential and switch it up on the fly. Now, you can see what I mean, getting into the top speed. You just expect a V8 sound, and really it sounds like you're driving a bus out of like GTA or something like that, Grand Theft Auto. You know what I mean? It's just, I mean, it's not a terrible truck, but sound-wise, I'd say it could be a little bit better here. Now it looks like we got some sort of I'd say that's a pre-runner truck up there, but we cannot even catch him, getting cut off by the AIs. Alright, enough is enough. So top speed-wise, really nothing too special here, but I think off-road is really where this thing is going to shine. And let's see if we can find the road here. Now, that's what I like about trucks. It's more realistic to be taking something like this off-road in a video game. And if there's one thing that I like about video games, it's complete realism, ladies and gentlemen. Let's be honest. That's why we play the games. You know what I mean? So we could pretend that it's real life. But I think what we got to do is fast travel here back to the city, find ourselves a nice driveway to steal, and as we often do around this time, put an end to today's video. Like I say, getting back to the basics here as far as the, the request videos. I was trying out a few things, so I'm going to maybe mix it up here and there, but predominantly we will get back into those request videos. So if you guys do have any, let me know down in the comments section. And I'm thinking that's going to be a wrap. Got to make sure we get that custom hood in the shop, because that's really the only thing that we did that was anywhere near custom on this truck. But as always, I am your boy D Nolly, aka Don Squally. I just want to say thank you, mofos, for watching. Don't forget to let me know what you guys want to see down in the comment section. And as always, we're going to catch y'all, mofos, at the next one, man. Peace. Oh, 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 no. Oh, oh, no. Oh. Oh, oh, no. Oh, no. Oh. Oh,